Hi, my name is Dallas Marsh. Welcome to my ePortfolio for eTech 590, the MET program, A Photographic Journey. This is a capstone project for the Masters of Educational Technology program, the MET program, offered by UBC, the University of British Columbia. This ePortfolio is meant to describe my journey through the MET program over the past 2 years while sharing my teaching philosophy and practices, my learning artifacts and reflections, as well as my pursuit in professional development as a lifelong learner. The audience in this EP will be my course instructor, my peers whom are currently enrolled in eTech 590, my peers currently enrolled in the MET program at UBC, and future MET students. That's not to forget my colleagues in education and others in the online community whom are interested in educational technology. This guided tour of my ePortfolio, which will be referenced as my EP throughout the remainder of this video, has been created to provide an overview of the site. While this EP is a requirement for the completion of the MET program, I wanted to take the time to personalize it. As a part of personalizing the ePortfolio, I found it necessary to select a metaphor that was meaningful to me. The metaphor I have chosen to use as the framework, connecting all aspects of the EP, is photography. With a professional photographer as a father, I have been captivated with the notion of telling stories and capturing moments in time through photography. Even though he is unable to be here physically to celebrate my successes, I wanted to share this moment with him, embracing the passion he instilled in me to savor every moment possible, to set aside time for yourself and your love of photography, and to be a lifelong learner. I've been taking photographs as long as I can remember. When I was much younger, the highlight of taking photographs was being able to develop them in our darkroom at home. Since I was still learning how to manually control the camera settings, I never knew how they were going to turn out. Some required a little more editing in the darkroom than others. When I moved out and no longer had regular access to the darkroom, my hobby was put to the side. It wasn't until I purchased a digital single lens reflex, a DSLR camera, that I began shooting again. It was as if I was learning all over again. To take a photograph of quality, it requires a great deal of knowledge of the camera functions, of setting the scene, of selecting the camera modes, and of taking the photograph, of editing, and of printing and mounting the final product. My journey through the MET program required much of the same processes. You feel overwhelmed breaking out of the automatic mode, but you quickly discover you are not alone and have others to support you in the learning process. Leaving the auto mode behind and challenging yourself, it will inevitably lead to some frustrations, but with the minor retouching, you are able to develop photographs worthy of printing and hanging on the wall. This EP was a photographic journey. In creating this EP, I was forced to reflect on the knowledge and skills I developed throughout the MET program. Moon suggests that with reflection, a deeper learning can occur, which helps the student process and to transform their ideas, storing the knowledge away in a meaningful manner, rather than simply memorizing the information. On all accounts, I represented the information to myself, allowing myself to reprocess it, strengthening the connections between the individual courses, between theories and applications. Throughout the process of completing the CP, I realized that I was no longer capturing individual moments in time. I was printing photographs to hang in to exhibit on the gallery wall. The individual photographs were transforming my teaching practices. No longer was the learning environment teacher-centered. It was developing into a student-centered environment where they were taking control of their learning. Now that you have an overview of my photographic journey in the MET program, I would like to take you on a tour of the ePortfolio. The homepage of my ePortfolio is titled The Camera. After all, taking photographs without one would be impossible. On this page, as you scroll down, you'll see that there is an explanation of the metaphor, as well as this guided tour. Below them, you'll see that there are a series of 5 representative photographs that will direct you to other sections of this ePortfolio. And at the very bottom, you will find there's a footer. This footer is viewable from every page of the EP. Being a connected educator, I wanted to share my Twitter feed to allow the others to connect with me. You will also see that there are some disclaimers in the middle regarding the photographs, images, embedded media within the site. All photographic images represented on the site have been taken by myself using my Nikon D90, as well as my current favorite lens, the Nikon 18 to 300 millimeter lens. It's quite flexible and allows you to shoot almost anything. The images within the site have been created by myself. They're representative screen captures of my work throughout the MET program. You will also find that there's some embedded media. There's thing links and Padlet walls and YouTube videos as well. These are each represented on my proofs page as well. And an important part to note for many of you that are not a part of the MET program, that there will be some hyperlinks throughout this EP that you will not be able to open. And as well, just for everyone else, please note that the first academic reference mentioned on individual pages will be hyperlinked to the proofs page. None of the others following it will be. Over here, you can also see that I would like to connect with people. Please feel free to click on any of these: Twitter, Google+, YouTube, LinkedIn, as well as email. These are all methods in which you can connect with me. Lastly, but not least, I have included a Creative Commons licensing for all works found within this ePortfolio, allowing others to use my work so long as they attribute it to myself, they do not use it for commercial use, and they do not create any derivatives. As for navigating through the site, there are a few different options. You'll notice that there's a navigation bar on the left which is static and will appear on every page. By moving your cursor over the main headings, subheadings will be revealed. By clicking on any of the headings or the subheadings, you'll be redirected by the page. You'll see that there is 6 main headings, not including the camera, which is the home page. Being captivated describes how the MET program grabbed my attention and what led to my selecting the educational technology as my area of focus for my master's degree. Taking the photograph focuses on the core courses I completed during the MET program. Without learning the theory and the method of application, it is difficult for an educator to capture the lessons and the courses they desire. Editing the photograph, the focus is placed on elective courses. These courses represent the techniques that help the educators develop their lessons, incorporating some special effects and techniques. You then have printing the photograph. It will focus on the elective courses that demonstrate how I'm currently using what I have learned in the MET program in my classes. You then have admiring the photographs, where all the photographs that are represented on each individual page in the EP and the MET courses will be brought together. This is a representation of all the reflection and learning that took place in the completion of this course. Here you'll also find critiquing the photographs, where I ask visitors such as yourself to assess this ePortfolio and to provide me with additional feedback. And to wrap it up, there's capturing the next image. This page briefly outlines some of my future intentions in professional development as a lifelong learner. To finish off the navigation bar, the equipment page highlights some of the resources and tools I used throughout the completion of the MET program. The proofs is where you will find all academic references along with the references for the multimedia. And lastly is the contact sheet. Here you will discover a variety of ways to connect with me. Let's begin by exploring taking a photograph. As you can see, this is the landing page in which I explain the connections of taking a photograph to the core courses of the MET program. At the bottom of each of the landing pages, you will find a collection of photographs. These photographs are representative of the courses that are connected to taking a photograph. Since these photographs are hyperlinked, by clicking on them, you are redirected to a particular page. Let's start with this photograph and see what eTech 500 research methodology in education brings us. The individual course pages are laid out in an identical manner. You will notice that each representative photograph is located at the top of the page. By clicking on it, if you like, it will enlarge it so you can see the photograph in further detail. Each page begins with general reflections of the courses and includes a hyperlink to the course description in the UBC Met website. And I'll just click here for you to see. And this takes you to the University of British Columbia Met Program's website, where we have the course description for eTech 500, the corresponding course. Following the general course reflection, you will see this divider line. It will let you know that you are finished with the general reflection and moving to the artifact for eTech 500. For eTech 500, there is a single artifact, the research proposal. For each artifact, there are specific reflections describing everything from learning theories, the learning process, and the impact it had on my teaching practices. Here, the research proposal is embedded using Scribed. If you wish, you can scroll through Scribed to read the research proposal, or if you wish, you can click right here to the full screen, where you will then be redirected to the research proposal in a larger scale, allowing you an easier time to read. You may continue to go through and scroll it as you wish. If you do select the full screen, you can go ahead and you can click right back here to go down to the small screen, and it will return you to the eTech 500 page. Now that we're back to the EP, let's move on. At the bottom of each page, you'll find navigation buttons. The navigation button on the left will take you backwards, while the navigation button on the right will take you forwards. For now, let's continue moving forwards. We're going to continue with taking the photograph, eTech 510. Notice that taking the photograph lets you know that we are remaining within the same category over here on the navigation bar. We're just moving into a new course. Now that we're on eTech 510, again, you will see that there is a representative photograph, along with a general course description at the top of the page, including the hyperlink to the UBC Met website to receive a course description. As you continue to scroll down, you'll come across the divider line that will indicate that you are moving on to the artifacts portion of the page. You'll see here for eTech 510, the first artifact that you'll come across is a design project. The design project is the assignment that was given for eTech 510, and the passion-based projects here is the focus of my project. As you read, there will be specific reflections to the specific artifact here for the passion-based projects in education. You'll see that there are academic hyperlinks. These academic hyperlinks will redirect you to the proofs page. At this time, you will also see that there is an image. By clicking on this image, you'll be redirected to the website created for the project. Notice again that it does take you into a new tab, allowing you easy navigation back to the ePortfolio. Similarly, you'll be able to find this hyperlink that will redirect you to a new tab to open up the project, or if you prefer, the website has been embedded within this ePortfolio. With that, the last page that I'm going to take you to is Admiring the Photographs at eTech 590. This is going to bring us to the end of the guided tour throughout the site. I'd like to take this time to thank my peers and instructors for the support and the countless discussions throughout the 2 years. What's more is I'd like to pay special tribute to 3 of my peers in particular that have pushed me, challenged me, supported me when needed. To Victoria Olson, I thank you for challenging me to learn more and to step beyond my comfort zone. I will miss our many Starbucks dates. To Pamela Jones, thank you for your never-ending support. And to Quentin Fluxtra, thank you for all of your support in collaborating, editing, and inspiring me to do just a little bit more. Without you three, my experience within the MET program would not have been the same. And a special thanks to my friends and family for supporting me throughout this photographic journey, especially Jeremy. Without your encouragement and your understanding, none of this would have been possible. This brings us to the end of the guided tour. I hope you enjoy exploring my photographic journey throughout the MET program.